ever see raisin wine? You taste raisin wine?
I don't think so. Is it a double matsuri?
Not in the stomach. It's not in Russia. It's not in the grapes.
Rabbi, is there such a thing as raisin wine in America?
Yeah, people make it.
Oh, they make their own.
Yeah, they don't sell it.
Uh-huh.
People make it.
And you make a bird because it's grapes.
Yeah. You know what you're doing.
So now he says,
What brings you here?
Street.
If one day Bush was here, he left you so ready. Oh, you came. I told you came to check.
We're holding.
Chavtes.
so before he said that if you don't have wine, you could have other drinks that are made that are the Yechama Medina. In other words, it's a popular drink in that city. So he says, "V'chol zeh," this that we're talking about, other drinks, it b'mei dvash ukiyotze boy. Mishar mashkin hachashuvim. Sharei hein be'oisei ha'ir b'mokem yayin. Over there, they drink it instead of wine. The Bible says in the cities that they don't have wine, so they rely on this. Avol sham mashkin ha'gruyim, but there's other juices that are not choshev. Kegoin mei tapuchim. Mei tapuchim, he touches up in this, an apple drink. That means apple juice. Push it, apple juice. V'cho umei zambul. Zambul is made from spices.
Ginger. No ginger?
Ingber.
Ingwerwasser.
It's ginger.
Ingwerwasser.
Yeah. Mei shoyrish, shekayron lokrish. That's the kids eat it, the candy. Licorice.
Black, yeah.
Apple pishirev shias ha beinin and ba'isai ha'ir humi mashkan alo. Even though these are popular drinks, of mikol mokem kiven she'ena mashkan chashuvim harei hein k'may mayim. She'av shirev shias ha'ir hu mayim. He said it's like water.
So he says,
And,
what about the
and
water?
he's giving you an example, and the water is also no good. Ein neitun oisan l'kay shel bracha, k'moshe Baba Simon Kufpei Beis. So they're the same as water, and just like water is not used for where you need to have a kais of yayin, same thing. This is also not.
Same thing, Coca-Cola is the same category, no Coca-Cola.
You mean Coca-Cola, Muhammad, and everything?
Afila oniamispanas minazdaka.
It could be Muhammad.
It's like these. It's
I like the
But anyway, Morris looked at Shayin Abakaisis. He has no money for Abakaisis. Shalai Nosno Hagaboyim. The Gaboyim give money for the Seder. And they didn't give him money for what they give him, didn't include wine. So Chayev Gulvos is Mechuyev to borrow, or Limka Ksusoy, or to sell his garment, or Haskar is Asma, or to hire himself out to work. B'shvil yayin udal kaisis, oy shamashkem b'mokem shehem chama medina. V'im einoy ela ma'at mois, v'im yikne b'em yayin udal kaisis, rayiyah rayneh b'beisay, that or a man nebuch, harayneh b'beisay kaidem udal kaisis, when they show him bias, because you may trip and may get into arguments and everything. V'yasa hasayda al hapas, k'moshe isbaya v'simen tov pei gimel.
אין שעובדים שיש לו יין
V'ayin shom din mi sheyesh lo ma'at yayin ve'enim masbik lo gedal kaises
Shnei halelis.
v'shnei halelis how we should conduct himself. Mitzvah v'chalak atinaik is kroyes v'agoyzim. That means you want to keep the children awake, so you're allowed to give out. This is like nuts or kroyes is pieces of wheat that's roasted wheat. B'gel Pesach, kaidem asiyas aseda, kidei sheyiru shinu v'yishol. They should ask them because they'll say, well, why are you giving us these things? You never give us these things. And they should ask, Ma nishtana, halayl azeh mikol halaylos. V'yaf api she'al she'la zu ein one mala hosher wahem.
Why are we giving them the nuts?
Yeah, you would. Mikol mokim al yedei she'yiru shinu zeh. They'll see that something is different tonight, and and they'll ask, why tonight are you giving us this in? So about in the mood of asking, so they'll also ask about other things, the things that we ask about in the Manashtana. The Hainu, She'oichem Matzah, Umara, V'yeshim V'mesubim, and v'yeshivu them, and they learn them about the Mayinu. So all this is in order to arouse their curiosity, and once their curiosity is awake, so they'll ask all the questions.
So today's day, some people they have all different kind of cakes and everything that looks like. So then you ask the question. The kids ask, what's the difference? All year we eat cake, and today we eat cake also.
All right.
You ask the question. You ask the question. This question.
What?
That they come to the hotel, and they have cake, they have rolls.
Oh, that's it.
My sister in California, she has a preschool. So she has a preschool, so she asked the kids, each one should write their own manashtana. So one child wrote, why do we have to go every year to a hotel? Because they never gave them, you have to behave, you have to get dressed up every time. Let's stay home, we can do what we want, we can tanzen of the event, you know? You want to, why do we have to go? It's a peinig for the kinder and the eltern, it's a maise.
Yeah. Dine kais rishon v'seider Pesach ad kais sheni.
Don't give us even.
That's what I was going to say.
Mosed kais rishon. You pour. Actually, mosed means that you mix. Like we went over it before.
The
wine was very strong in those days. You couldn't eat. You couldn't drink it, so they had to mix it with water. V'ayim olav kiddush hayom. V'im efshe tov shel yimzek habalabayis ba'atzmai. Because it's supposed to be derech, you know, so it has someone else that does it for you. It's not our minhag. Ela acher yimzek loy. Another person at the table should do the mixing for him. Ki mishar side, as though he's like the butler. Climber, derech cheres u'shara, zecher yitzir l'sayim, like he's waiting for it to be delivered to him in a drinkable
I said
form.
I said this in the past. At our house, we had people who were not the Shem Shabbos came to the Seder. And in the olden days, there wasn't so much wine at Mavushal, you know, there was a lot of wine at Mavushal. So my father didn't have any problems. He used to tell everybody, tonight is Cheres. You sit and we'll pour you the wine. Everyone will pour you the wine. Because you never know when to touch the wine. And you want wine, you just ask and we'll pour you the wine. They got away with that. Even though he said it's not our minhag, but in some places you have to be like that if you have wine that's not Mavushal. That's what I'm saying. There was no Mavushal.
In those days,
So
they didn't have many sorts of wine. There was one wine, Malaga, which was a very heavy wine, a sweet wine and a very heavy wine. And they used to advertise, "Man kann schneiden mit der Messer."
That was that was
There was
Shapiro
Tokay, Malaga, and Saturn.
yeah, but that was the thing. That wasn't mavushal.
That wasn't Bushel.
First thing he did was he put them into took them from the glass bottles. And we had like silver, since you can't see it all together. Then he had other ones, that were very, very dark green ones, you couldn't see it. And then on top of that, he said, no one should touch the wine.
Right.
Oh, you're on wine.
So the Medrash says this. So this was the first case. You have someone pour it for you, and you make kiddush. V'acha gemara kiddush. Kaidem sheyishte hakais. Mevore shechiyonu. That means when he says after the gemara kiddush, that means the kiddush is talking about the bracha mitzad the yontif, and then he's saying that then you add also shechiyonu. Ve'im shochach avora kaidem hashasiyah. If you forgot to say shechiyonu at the end of the kiddush, yivorach achakach miyad k'sheniska. So as soon as he reminds himself, he can say it. V'filu niska l'mocha b'yayim. Even if the whole night went by and he didn't say it, and he reminded himself the next day, yivorach. V'filu b'emsa shuk. Because this is a bracha, it's not a shechiyonu on the kiddush. It's a shechiyonu on the yontif. So wherever you are, you make a bracha for the yontif. Ve'im niska l'acha shekiddush hayayim, yom tei sheni shel goyus, harei hu nifta b'shechiyonu sheyivorach al kais v'achar ha-kiddush. Ve'im shochach avora shechiyonu b'kiddush lo sheni, he still forgot to make shechiyonu. Afilu im bira kvar b'lel rishon, chayiv b'vorach emes asher niska b'chol shiva shemei achad, dahainu atzayim yontav v'achan shel golus, you can make a shechiyonu on the yontav.
So basically, even if he said it the first night, but if he got it the second night, the same chiyuv is upon him to say shechiyonu right.
Maybe the first day wasn't Yontif.
Wasn't yontif, right.
Now, im shochach kadesh b'layla, if he made a say to something, he doesn't have an agoda also. So he forgot to make kiddush. Yesh le tashlum u'mocha, k'may b'kiddush shel Shabbos. Just like if you forgot to make kiddush Friday night, you can make it up Shabbos. We make a very short kiddush Shabbos morning because the actual kiddush we made already at night. Dahainu shalamocha b'yom yivorach b'ore pri hagofen, which is the kiddush. That's the whole kiddush. V'achakach yivorach birchas hakiddush asher bacha banu, because he didn't say that asher bacha banu. He didn't say the first time. Aval misha shachar loimer ha'agoda ein lo tashlumim b'yom. That you can't make up if it didn't say God. Shenema ba'avuzeh also. לא ימדרי, אלא בשור שיש מצל מורה מונח לפניך. ושאין חייבת, דהיינו בלילה הראשון. אבל מכאן ואילך אכילת מצה היא רשוס. אין ליטר הידיים קודם קידוש, אלא אם כן אין ידו נקייס. In other words, there's no need to wash your hands before kiddush. ואף הנוהגים בכל יום Toivim b'Shabbos as litter hayadayim l'suda koydem kiddush. Those that have a custom that they do wash every time before kiddush. L'fish seifim shah kiddush eina choshev hefsek ben netilas yadayim l'suda. Hoya b'huma. In other words, they don't wash. They wash on netilas yadayim on the challah that they're going to eat, because they hold that the kiddush is not a hefsek.
Oh, so first they start the meal by washing, then they go into the room and they make kiddush and they eat the
wash
challah.
and they make kiddush and then they make a motzi.
Because they just make sure the hands stay clean.
Hoyevu mitzoch asudu,
Just not a hefsek.
k'moshe b'ay b'simerei zanal, mikol mokum b'leil Pesach, shemafsikim harbe achar ha-kiddush, v'amidas hagoda, u'b'terech kach mesir data mishmidas yodov, v'ficha afam yital yodov, Kaidem HaKiddush, Ein Natil Zu, Shabbat Krum, it's not worth anything because you'll have to wash again for the meal. V'yitzara Gaza v'yito Yodo v'suda acha agoda. V'av shenatil zu me'elesh v'yitzara Gaza v'yito Yodo acha kiddush kaidem achilas yirakas. It'll help that you shouldn't that you wouldn't have to wash by karpas. Shematabo oisam b'mashke al tibur b'makamoshe l'bayim v'chol davar shetibur b'mashke tzarech natil shidayim v'loi b'racha kamoshe nizbayim. And b'mela, so you're going to gain by doing this natil before the kiddush. V'komak and yosef tav sheyit al yodav acha kiddush kaidem ativu she'im yit al kaidem kiddush yesh rochas shema yitu mixes hamayim v'yivachu on the Natil Zu. If we should get them by name, Natil Zu, Shabbat Rishon Natil Neutron Kaidish Kaidem HaKiddush. The whole Yontif Shabbos. So I'll make a mistake. I think that you have to
But
make
maybe for the shluchim, it is a good idea. Because anyway, you said last night one is good enough to do it.
Well, I said, oh, you don't need this.
Yeah, but if you do that earlier, you could cover that and have no problem.
Okay. I still think I have the same amount of time.
But it won't
Im
be-
Chal
yeah.
b'Shabbos, if Pesach comes out on Shabbos, so in the Kiddush that you make on Shabbos, you start with Vayichu. Kedega Hoitzi, as Barnabas B'nai Beisav, Shaloi, Hoyu B'Beis HaKnesses. V'loi Shomu, Ki Shomu Atziba, Davar Zacha Atzura. Im Chal b'Motzei Shabbos, as is this year, Tzorech Reime Havdalah Acha Kiddush. So you have to say Havdalah also. Im Yesh Ner, Yivarech Olav Kaidem Havdalah V'Achar HaKiddush. V'Achar Havdalah Yivarech Shechayonu Nimtza Seder HaBrachas Yak Nahaz, which is Yayin Kiddush Ner Havdalah and Zman. V'Im Shino HaSeder, if we mixed up the order, Shehigdim HaMe'ucha V'icha HaMogdam, what goes later, he started first. And what goes first, you got for later, is Yotza, Yaitza, V'Yarza V'Yavarech, and you don't have to make again a bracha. Chutz, Me'im, Higdim HaKiddush V'Biras HaYayin. Demo shetzarech lazel avon birchas hakiddush. Ufi she'osek edibbe it's a machaged b'shamay and b'silo. V'neged b'silo. V'chol oise b'dover b'dika kedibbe b'shamay lo yotzi yedei chavose. Avo ein mevochem al b'samim b'chol mitzvah Shabbos u'yontif. When there's a Shabbos going into yontif, so you don't make a bracha on b'samim. Afi shemash mevachem al b'samim b'chol mitzvah Shabbos hu kedei l'hoshev es hanefesh. That's it's a thing to relax the nefesh. He the eves, it's in bad mood. Vitzias hanefesh. Machmas neshama hayeseda shenitla mimeno. Ubiyantev ein tzorach b'samim she tainig Yontif v'samachta v'simchosai meishiv es hanefesh.
But interesting, I think in the law, even on Matzoi Pesach, the last night of Pesach, it doesn't say to use, even if it's Shabbos, not to use some. But Chalamoid, Moshe. No. Chalamoid, you use some? This year you don't have a Shabbos.
Could be
The Rebbe writes.
You don't use Shabbos.
The Rebbe writes that when you get to Kappas, so the Rebbe writes that the other people used to put spices into the Kappas. And the Rebbe writes that go to that today we don't do it because we don't have kosher Pesach. But they do sell today kosher Pesach.
So, but he says over here that in the Neshama Yisera, could be Shabbos goes into Yontif, so the Neshama Yisera doesn't leave. Could be the Neshama Yisera doesn't leave.
Well,
It does leave.
Does leave.
It says here.
Does leave.
It
It
says
says,
it.
but the Simchas Yontif takes the place, calms you down, calms you down. It leaves. What, you saw him leave? You feel it, you Pasha feel it, you know. Some of us don't feel it, we don't know what it is, but you feel it. We don't have a...
what he says over here, Meishivus and Nefesh, doesn't mean it brings back the Nefesh.
It calms.
It calms the Nefesh that, the steady Nefesh, that was in a bad spirit, because the Neshama say left.
No, I thought you're supposed to eat.
She said
I know, but
the
should eat more
simcha of
kosher, I wouldn't say
Yontif
it. But I don't feel
relaxes
the Neshama say
that
it.
he doesn't need
Well,
the
Neshama say it.
the Neshama
It's
say
full
it.
of Hishmer Rabbi.
Okay. You're on a different level. Going to is brilliant.
Okay, let's stop over here.
They actually do.